Tonight we're going to be looking at Seiko watches and how to tell the difference between genuine Seiko watches and fake Seiko watches. The ones that are out here before you to look at, we're looking at the backs of them. These are all genuine. These are genuine Seiko. We notice here is one type where it does have this back on it. Here's the one that has the grooves on it that you twist off. And here's one that you pop off the back case. This Seiko watch has a clear back on it, as you can see. The movement is signed Seiko. You may not be able to see it, but that's okay. Alright, so Seiko watches will always have this 8-digit code somewhere on the back, as well as this 6-digit code. Okay, not necessarily these type numbers, but I mean it's going to have an 8-digit code and a 6-digit code. It's not going to always be this number, but always have that on the back. Okay, let's look at another genuine Seiko watch. This one's another genuine. Okay, let's go ahead and take it out. I'm kind of careful with these because they are brand new, so I don't want to unbuckle them. But on this one we can see that in some respects it's similar to this back because it's a pop-off back. However, this is a genuine Seiko. Not all of them have a twist-off back. Many of them have a back like this. That being said, it still has this 8-digit code and a 6-digit code. It'll still have those coding information on the back of the watch. You'll notice that Seiko almost always uses a dull finish on their watches. Okay, let's go ahead and look at another Seiko here. This is another genuine Seiko. Alright, here's this watch here. And, okay. We'll notice that this one also has a clear back on it. And once again, it's going to have all that information somewhere on the back of that watch. It's going to have that 8-digit code and a 6-digit code. So no matter what the back of it looks like, it's going to have that information. Alright, let me go over some more information about these watches. Somewhere on these watches there will also be code information near or underneath the 6. There will always be 4 digits there, 4 digits there, 8 digits, and sometimes 9 digits. That'll be the case with every single genuine watch, as long as it's analog. This one here, you know, it doesn't have that. Okay, maybe these aren't. However, this one does. And it's hard to see, but it's underneath the 6 position there. And this watch also, it's a newer watch. A lot of these are same thing. They'll have that information either beside the 6 or underneath it. It's always going to be there. That's another way to tell a genuine Seiko watch. Alright, another way to tell is the quality of the dial. And once you get to know Seikos, you just come to expect a certain quality. Things are printed right. They just look normal. Let me use that word. They just look like a normal quality watch. There's nothing fishy about it. Okay, another thing we can see here, even though it's upside down, which is fine, The bracelets will always be signed Seiko every single time. If it's a watch band, it will always be signed Seiko. If it is a new watch, it should come with the Seiko booklet and the price tag, the information tag, and sometimes usually the extra links. So a lot of times the Seiko booklet is blue, but this one particular one is kind of a gray color. Another way you can tell that a Seiko, this is as far as the boxes go, if they are genuine, notice how they all have codes on them. This one here has been kind of messed up. It still has a code on it. And this one, it has information, but it still has a code underneath. Here's an example of a fake Seiko watch. The seller on eBay made it very deceptive because the watch came in a genuine Seiko box. So I thought that was very deceptive. This outer part, I've seen a ton of these over the years. That's genuine Seiko, and this box is a genuine Seiko box. You'll notice one thing about it right off is it doesn't have a white tag on it anywhere. But that alone doesn't mean everything. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the watch. Do not be fooled. If you see a watch on eBay, you can buy blue Seiko boxes, just the boxes, on eBay for about $12. So don't be fooled by that. Alright. Boy, that's a beautiful looking watch, isn't it? You can see how somebody like me could be easily fooled by that. I'm not ashamed to admit that I was fooled by it because it had the original it had the original box, it has a genuine Seiko pillow, and the seller said is a new Seiko watch. Okay, let's go ahead and look at it a little bit deeper. Okay. Several things we'll notice right off. I wanted to double check. Is there's no numbers around the 6th position. That's a fake. The would-be diamonds above the 12 are not lined up correctly, and they don't look right. So that's a fake. The weight of the watch is less than the weight of a regular Seiko. The back clasp does not say Seiko on it. The seller conveniently did not take a picture of the back clasp. Also, this is a new fake, but I'm not aware of any time that I've ever seen a Seiko ever use saran wrap around the bracelet. Maybe sometimes they do. I don't know, but that's what it feels like around the watch. Okay. We open it up and this feels a lot cheaper. On camera it might be more difficult to see this. The butterfly clasp, whatever you want to call it, it's a higher grade stainless steel, and they tend to be real shiny when they're from Seiko. Again, I'm doing a horrible job showing that. They tend to be real shiny. I don't know if they all are, but also you'll see this button up here. It's rounded on the edges. This has a higher quality feel. This one's a little bit rounded, but not as much, and it's just kind of clanky. So just kind of familiarize yourself. Just in your own mind, you can go back and review this and just put it on pause. And this is a genuine Seiko. This is the fake. So instead of me trying to describe them, I'm just going to have you take a look at them, just to kind of help you familiarize yourself with the differences. Okay. And like I said, you can just, pause the video wherever you want to. Sorry. Naturally, when you're buying a watch on eBay or wherever, you're not going to have the benefit of actually feeling the weight of it. But these watches here, they do weigh less. It is way less. Alright, let's look at the back of this. Notice how shiny that is. I've never seen a Seiko like that. And once again, the seller of this fake watch did not take a picture of the back of the watch, because that would have been a dead giveaway that it was fake. Earlier in the video, I showed every type of back of Seiko watches, well, pretty much every type. And do any of them look like that? And the answer is absolutely no. There is no 8-digit code. I'm going to show this again because it's really important. It does not have this code. It does not have an 8-digit code. Obviously, it's not going to be the same code. But it does not have an 8-digit code, and it does not have this 6-digit code. Nowhere on the back of that watch. And look how cheesy that looks. It just looks really cheesy. And if you see a watch like that, it's a guarantee it's a fake. Underneath that cap, I'm not going to take it off because I have to return this to the fraudulent seller, is a tiny quartz movement that's pure black, one of those tiny little ultra cheap movements that is not signed Seiko. Every movement that is put into a Seiko watch is a high quality movement. And all of them, or almost all of them, will be signed Seiko. If they're not signed Seiko, they'll be signed ETA or some other high quality brand. But if it's a tiny El Cheapo black movement with a tiny battery and there's just cheap Chinese movement, that's another dead giveaway. That's a fake. But when you look at this watch and you look at it on eBay, you can't, no matter how good the zoom is, you can't zoom in perfectly. And if the seller says it's new, and if the seller says it's genuine, and if the seller puts it in a genuine box and all that, you say, well, to yourself, it's a genuine watch. Also, what made this difficult is this was from a United States seller. Be careful of sellers from India, by the way. This was from a United States seller, and it still was fraudulent. It was also, the seller had a good reputation, I think of about 98% or something. However, why do I think the seller intentionally knew it? Because he went to a whole lot of trouble, the box, the pillow, not to take a picture of the back of the watch, not to take a picture of the back bracelet. They didn't take a picture of any of those things. When you buy a watch on eBay, I would suggest buying it from a seller that has at least 5,000 reviews, that has at least a 99% feedback, who also accepts returns. And if you go with one of those companies that have 20 or 30,000, 40,000, 100,000 sales, then you might pay more, but you know it's going to be genuine. If it's a seller that has 150 or something like that, you need to ask for the seller to provide more pictures. If the seller avoids taking pictures of that in the back of the watch, that's fishy. You need to ask them before you buy it, can you please take a picture of the clasp, the back of the clasp, in the back of the watch. This video has been a little bit redundant, and that's okay, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to avoiding making a $150 mistake on a Seiko watch. There are a ton of different fake Seiko watches. Last month I bought, how many was it, 10 or 12? Maybe 10 or 12 fake Seiko watches on eBay. That was a bad month. Fortunately, eBay interceded for us and we got our money back. That is not an exaggeration. Be careful when you buy watches. That way you do not make a costly mistake. So those are the things to look for. Look for the feedback rating. Make sure, I would recommend that they be United States. I'd recommend that the feedback rating be 99%, that they have at least 4,000 or 5,000 reviews, and that they accept returns. They take a picture of this, they take a picture of that, they take a picture of the bracelet, they take a picture of every angle on that watch. Even that crown looks fishy to me. Even the crown looks cheesy, now that I look at it. I didn't notice that before, but that is a low quality crown. Anyway, this video, the whole purpose of it is to keep you from getting ripped off. The next video we do have a more cheerful tone to it. We're going to be looking at a Timex Q reissue and compared to an old original Timex Q. So this is going to be, I don't like doing these videos, these negative ones, but I did want to do it to warn you. There's fake Seikos, Bulivas, Citizens. There's even fake Casios. There's fake lots of stuff. Just be careful when you're buying stuff on any eBay or anywhere else. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this video has been beneficial to you. Okay, well, thank you.